And what do you make, Lincoln Riley, here on the Rich Eisen Show? The timing of your decision, one of obviously Brian Kelly's as well, happening back to back, perhaps because of that early signing period or that signing period that you mentioned. That you're like, oh yeah, oh by the way, I've got to start recruiting now. And part of the reason why people are knocking on your door, like USC, when they knocked on your door, is because of that early that signing period right there, December 15th. I keep saying early. It just feels early. Would you be up for moving that elsewhere, pushing it into January or something like that?
Yeah,
Coach?
I think it's something we got to consider. I mean, I think there's some benefits to it, but also think there's been some unintended consequences. When you combine that with the transfer portal, I mean, those two things have changed college football. I mean, they just have. They are, and I think everybody knew that those were two significant changes when they happened, but I don't know that anybody could have predicted all the different kind of aftershocks that we're seeing of those two kind of monumental decisions. So I do think we'll have to continue to evaluate it because it puts tough timelines on coaches. It puts tough timelines on players, on universities. It's just not obviously the position that anybody wants to be in when you're making, some of these life-changing decisions. So I hope it's something that we look at. There's obviously some other leagues, some professional leagues that obviously, do it a little bit differently and have more rigid lines, and certainly maybe something we in college football have to really take a strong look at.
Certainly, you've already gotten the star recruit to commit to you here that you had already recruited in Oklahoma. So what do you say to folks that think that something like that seems unfair, Coach, that you get to move and that the kid then immediately gets to follow you to the new spot?
Yeah, I think that's the nature of it. I mean, every kid has got to make their own decision, and that's and again, that's whether that happens before a kid goes to college or it happens after he's been in college and decides to make a move. That's the nature of the game right there. So we've tried to have a strong respect for my previous employer for Oklahoma. It's not an easy situation. We understand that, but each kid's got to make his own decision, and that's at the end of the day, kids are going to go where they want to go, and so I think we as coaches. Programs, we've got to all understand it and live with it.
All right. So, what's your pitch when you go into someone's living room as the head coach of University of Southern California? What do you tell them?
Honestly, it's a fun pitch to make. It's working again at one of the premier institutions in the country is the first thing. I think the opportunity to coach it and play at one of the premier football programs historically that there's ever been, and so much to me, all this is about timing. It's about the right place. And the right time. And I think there's a sense of excitement and anticipation for USC football right now and a hunger to get it back. And, there's no better feeling than being a part of something like that. So that's honestly, those future Trojans are having to make the same decisions that, we just had to make, us and our family. So we've been there, we get it, we made our decision, and certainly hopeful that they'll make theirs.
Well, I mean, one of the most embarrassing moments I've ever had as a broadcaster, Coach Riley, was when I did move from ESPN to NFL Network on NFL Total Access and accidentally called it SportsCenter on the air, saying this is SportsCenter. Has Oklahoma slipped out of your mouth at any point in the last week?
I've been close a few times. 7 years there. It was pretty ingrained in me, but I've held it together so far.
I bet. So what do you say to Sooner fans that are kind of chapped with you and at you right now? What do you say to them right now?
I hope time will heal that. I do. I understand they're disappointed that we left. I do. And I have a lot of love for that place. Me and my family poured our heart and soul into that place for 7 years and loved every second of it. Had a tremendous run of championships and success on and off the field, and so we've got nothing but love. These things, when you leave a university, they either fire you or you leave on your own accord, and neither one of them are easy, and we understand it. But our love for that place will never go away, and we certainly hope that as time goes on that the time we were there will be remembered fondly, and that everybody will remember all the great success that we all had together.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.